First, I'd like to thank the grace of heaven, the virtues of the masters, and the compassion and mercy of the grand predecessors, senior transmitters, lectures, temple masters, and everyone for giving me this opportunity today to talk about today's topic, which is, which is, I mean, it's, we say Tao and religion. I mean, so we could say, then there's could be that's the main title, if you will. Then there could be the subtitle, which is, difference between Tao and religion or similarities between Tao and religion, right? So that's fine. Now, another subtitle, the third subtitle, which most people probably don't look at, is we can say essence and function. Okay, so that's okay. So now this, I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. This is potentially, right, depending on a particular the Dharma class, it could be one of the topics in the Dharma class, right? Usually it's the second day, right? The second day or the first day, the end of the first day. But anyway, so this is a very wide-ranging topic, if you will. Okay, so it almost touches on everything, almost all aspects of the Tao. We call it, the Tao. Okay, so since this is considered the beginning level class, I'm just going to touch upon, the different aspects, because of time limitation, I don't want to go too deeply. I'll just just point you in the right direction, in that particular direction or area where you can go explore on your own, okay, more in depth. And also, this topic, you can say, can be the lead in to other topics, like what's Tao cultivation, precepts, all of that, and to the sutras, the Tao Te Ching, the Book of Purity and Stillness, etc., Heart Sutra, etc. Okay, so now, I don't want to go too deeply, but you just so you know, okay. So because I only have an hour, so actually, this topic can be the lead-in to many other topics, okay, because they are connected, related. All right, okay. So let's just, so that's the intro. So now, okay, so here's the outline that I'm going to just give you, which is, first, what is the Tao? What is Tao? Okay, what is Tao? So is Tao a religion? That's number two. And what are the differences, similarities, or relationships between Tao and religion? So that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot already. Actually, all 4 points are a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to touch upon some, not all, some of the concepts, ideas, etc. Okay, and then the fourth is, what is Tao cultivation compared to religious cultivation? All right, that's a lot of topic to that. Okay, but just so this is just to get you started and just get you have a taste, if you will, an appetizer, taste of this topic of what is the Tao in general. Okay, all right. So what is Tao? Okay, so let's look at. Now, I don't have the links. I mean, I could provide links, but you've been through many classes, and you can. Okay, let's go to the Tao Te Ching, right? For one example of one description of what we call, for the Tao, right? Chapter 1, right? Okay, chapter 1 is a very relatively short chapter, right? So the very first, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, there are nine. We say they're like 9 sentences or 9 lines. I mean, it depends on how you break it up. It could be 9 or 12 or but roughly. Okay, so let me just call it up, and then that way you can get an idea, because I don't have that, unfortunately. I don't want to just read it and then let me call up this file, and then you can take a look for yourself. Okay, all right. So this is from our Tao Te Ching class. This is the very first class. That was, I think we did it in 2019, November 2019, or something like that. I mean, it's about over 2 years ago. Okay, all right. So this is the Tao Te Ching. This is chapter 1. Okay, chapter 1. It's called basically observing or embodying, observing the essence or the Tao. Okay, the essence of Tao. Okay. Guan means to observe. You can say, I mean, that's one definition usually. Miao means the mystic, mystery, mystic, and that's the representative of the Tao. That's representation of the Tao. Okay, I mean, that's a metaphor to the Tao. All right, so if you can see, here it is. Okay, so the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth. The name is the mother of all of myriad things. Thus, always in emptiness, one may or desires to see its essence. Always in existence, one may or desires to see its manifestations. These two emerge together but differ in name. The unity is said to be the mystery of mysteries, the door to all wonders. All right. Okay. So the mystery here is the Tao. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, so I mean, actually, I don't want to go because this is a separate class. I mean, it's probably, if you really want to, dive into it, it takes about 2-3 hours to really explain it in detail. Okay, but if you can listen to the recording, okay, of this class. All right. So basically, but there are key points in here that I just want to bring it out. Okay. So one is so section 1, I have divided under the first 2 lines. Okay. One is that the Tao cannot be, it says cannot be spoken. Okay. So that means it cannot be described. Okay. So anything that we can describe and we call it the Tao is not the real Tao. Okay. And then we give the Tao different names. It has many names. I mean, some people can say God. Okay, fine. I mean, you can say God. Yeah, Supreme God. I mean, you can say that God, the source, the origin, whatever. Okay. Oneness. Yeah, you can say that too. Okay. But that's not its true name because it has no name. It's the nameless. Okay. Okay. And that's what gives us section 2. Section 2, we say the nameless, then that's the nameless, then that's another a metaphor for the Tao. So that's the origin. So the Tao is the origin or the source or the mother, if you can say, that gave rise to heaven and earth. Okay. The heaven and earth have different meanings. You can say, yeah, physically, yeah, heaven and earth. Also, more metaphorically, the yin and yang. Okay, so it just means everything. Okay, and that's what leads to the 4th sentence or line. It says, then the name. So we give this source, this origin, this Tao. We give that a name, and that is we call it, that's the mother, the source of everything. Okay, of all things. Okay, all right. And then 5th and 6th is that so basically, Tao is not describable and can have different names, but it's not its real name because it's nameless. And then the nameless, the Tao, is the source of everything. Now, heaven and earth could represent yin and yang. Okay, yin and yang. Okay, yin is the earth, heaven's yang. It just means everything. Okay, everything. Okay, or the Tai Chi, you can say. Okay, and then it's the origin. We give this Tao a name, and it's the source of everything. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, all right. Then now, but if we want to see or observe its essence, the essence of this Tao, okay, we must be empty. I mean, what's that mean? Emptiness. That means we must be in that, how can I say, in the state of emptiness. Then you can see the essence. You are the essence, or you can say you are the essence. You are with the essence. Okay. All right. That's what it means. Okay. All right. And also, if you want to see its manifestations, you have to be in existence. You have to exist. Oh, anything that can exist, right? Anything that can appear, exist, we can see its manifestations, right? So that's what it means. So what it's saying is that the Tao has 2 parts, two aspects. You can say 2 aspects, but it's all the Tao. It's one. It's merged. It's the oneness, if you will. So one is it's emptiness, that it's empty. Its essence is empty. It's formless. It's intangible, right? It cannot be seen, right? It cannot be smelled. It cannot be touched, etc. It cannot be tasted. Okay, but even though it's empty, the Tao essence is formless. We say, empty is formless. Okay, it's intangible. It's invisible, but it has mirrored. It has manifested. It can manifest. It can give rise to. Okay, so in Buddhism, this two line could say 真空妙有. Okay, right here. Okay, you can say 真空妙有. Okay, 真空 means true emptiness. 妙有 means you can say marvelous existence. Okay, I mean that's one translation. 真空妙有. So that's what this phrase is. Okay, I mean these two lines. Then the last line, the last three lines is that the Tao, he says, but the Tao is these two together. Is what's the two? It's the emptiness and it's the existence. That's together. That comes together. But they have different names. Many people call it different names. You can call it, I don't know, oneness. You can call it the one, true emptiness, all that. Okay. So the unity, the merger of these two parts, two aspects, as we can call it, okay, is the mystery, is the Tao. Okay, is that mystery, right? The nameless, right? The indescribable. Okay, and so it's the mystery of all mysteries, the door to all mysteries. That means with this Tao, okay, it is indescribable. It's mystery of mysteries. It's totally indescribable. We cannot even conceive of it. We cannot have the perfect conceptual understanding of it. Okay, and it's the door to all wonders. That means it has infinite, you can say infinite possibilities, or infinite wonder, or endless. It's endless. So actually, it's like saying it's like the zero and infinity together. So anyway, okay, all right. So this is just a very I'm just doing a very basic, right? So that's what the Tao Te Ching chapter 1 would say. Now, then there's also Book of Purity and Stillness. I don't have the file in front of me, but I can just read to you. It's very short. Okay, it's a chapter 1. Sorry. Oh, oops, sorry. Where is it? Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Here it is. Clarity and Stillness. Okay. It says Lao Tzu said, okay, the great Tao is without form, yet it gives birth to heaven and earth. So that's similar, right? Similar to the Tao Te Ching, right? That's similar, right? Okay, right here. Okay, right. Okay, it's similar to that. Also, now then in the Tao in the Purity and Stillness, the Book of Purity and Stillness, or the Classic of Purity and Stillness, says further. It says the great Tao is without preference, yet it regulates the sun and moon. That's just naturally, right? It's its nature, just without, and that just means that it's without preference. Could also mean 无为. Okay, in the Chinese, it says 大道无情. That means it has no emotions. No 情 means emotion. Okay, no emotion. Okay. And sometimes we translate, that's more specific. You can say, no motive. It has no motive. And that's like 无为, okay, all right, or non-attachment, okay, and yet it governs the rules. I mean, it rules, it governs how the earth, the sun, and the moon, goes about, right? Goes, okay, all right. And then the third sentence is the great Tao is without name, yet it nurtures the universe. So that's similar to this. That's similar to this. Okay, similar to this. Okay, same line right here. Okay, all right. And then I do not know its name. The last line of chapter 1 is I do not know its name, but can only address it as Tao. Okay, so that's very similar in lines to to chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching. All right. Okay. So once again, all right. Now, what the Bible also kind of hints, has a you can say indirect reference to the Tao. Okay, and where did that come from? That's in the Bible, in the New Testament. It's John 1, chapter 1, verse 1, which says, it's very short. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So if you substitute the Word for the Tao, then you can say, right? Okay, so in the beginning there was the Tao, and the Tao was with God, and God was and the Tao was God. Okay, so you can say, okay, so you can substitute like that. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, that's one way. So that's why, you can say, on one level, the Tao is God. You can call it that. Okay, all right. Even though I wouldn't say that that's necessarily, I mean, it is true, because when you think about the way we cultivate, we when we do the daily rituals, right? It's bows. We bow to God, right? We don't say Tao, right? I mean, even though we say that's all encompassed as part of the Tao. All right. Okay. So now let's go to Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra. Let's see. I have a translation here, but it's not that best. Oops, sorry. Where was it? Oh, I didn't call it up. It's not the best, but if you have, let's see, I have, yeah, I have the, shoot, I don't have the file, but let me just read it to you. It's in the first chapter. Okay, it's Heart Sutra, right? Okay, it's this portion of Heart Sutra. It says, let me read it. It says, Sariputra. Okay, now Sariputra. Okay, now Heart Sutra. Should I? Let's see. Heart Sutra deals with what's the Heart Sutra about? Heart Sutra is about Avalokitesvara, Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara, who's Guan Yin, okay, speaking to one of the Buddha's main chief disciples named Sariputra. Okay, Sariputra. All right. Okay. So where is it? Let me call. I was going to call up what I did to it, but then never mind. Okay. Well, let me read it to you. Just to be sure. It says, Sariputra, form does not differ from the void, nor the void from form. Okay, so form is identical with void, a void is identical with form. So are the receptions, conceptions, mental functions, and consciousness in relation to the void. That's the 5 skandhas. Okay, so now, Sariputra. So when Guan Yin addressed, this person, the disciple Sariputra, that's the direct meaning that he's talking to you, to Sariputra, the person, the physical body. Okay. Then right afterwards, he said, Guan Yin continued. He said, Sariputra, the void, or some people they translate as dharma, which means things. Okay. The void, the void of all things, dharma, is not created, not annihilated, not impure, not pure, not increasing, and not decreasing. So in this second case, the second mention of Sariputra, Guan Yin was not referring to Sariputra, the person or the disciple, but rather your essence, the Buddha nature essence. Okay, to be precise. Okay, so that's why he's saying the essence of all things cannot be created, cannot be annihilated, it's neither impure nor pure, neither increasing nor decreasing. So what does that mean? It means it's beyond what? Yin and yang, beyond the dualities. It's absolute, in other words. So our essence is absolute, meaning that what? Absolute means it's always existed, right? Always there. It's always there. It's always there, but it's invisible, right? It's invisible. Okay. So that's like the Tao. Okay. So the Tao essence, it's invisible. It's intangible, but it's always there, and you cannot, it cannot be created nor destroyed. Okay, so that's our, so that's the broad level. On the general level, on the specific level, it's our what? Buddha nature. Our Buddha nature, our true nature. Some people say our spirit, our soul, Holy Spirit. Those are all different labels. Okay, but anyway, it's just that it's our essence. That's what? That's neither created nor can it be destroyed. Right? Okay. All right. And it's neither impure nor pure because it's absolute. It has no such qualities. Okay. All right. And that I'm talking about the essence now. And that's what the Tao is. Okay. And it's neither increasing nor decreasing. That's why we say it's like zero and infinity, which we'll get down to here later. Okay. So here, what are the descriptions? So that's what the Heart Sutra is. All right. Okay. So if you want to, I think there was a classes on the Heart Sutra. So you can okay. So I'm trying to look up that file. I can't find my file. But anyway, okay, it doesn't matter. All right. Okay. That's not this. No, damn. Okay. All right. So now let's go to some of the scripts. So we talked about these four references from the Tao Te Ching, from the Qing Jing Jing, Book of Purity, and from the Bible, New Testament, and from Heart Sutra. But then let's do some examples of what is the Tao would be, in more, in different dimensions. Okay, so it's really this. It's absolute plus relative. The essence, I'll get to that later. It's the absolute plus relative. It's not one or the other. Okay, all right. And it's also called noumenon and phenomenon. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, it's like the truth. You can say the truth and its manifest, or the principles and its manifest, and that's what it is. Right? Then we have principle and practice. Okay, all right. It's substance plus function. Okay. Okay, it's stillness plus motion or action. Okay, it's emptiness plus existence. Okay, so that's for the direct Tao Te Ching chapter 1, right? Okay, or it's zero plus infinity. Okay, because the essence is, we say zero. That's like true emptiness. It's invisible. It's intangible. It's indescribable. We cannot give it any description. Okay, and yet it's the source of everything, of all mirrored things. Okay, so these are all just different ways of describing what the Tao is. So altogether, really, when we look at this, you can say something. That's why we say it's the oneness. It's the oneness of the absolute and relative, of the noumenon and phenomena, principle and practice, substance and function, stillness and action, emptiness and existence, or zero and infinite. So it's the oneness. Okay, all right. So that's what it is right here. So it's the oneness. That means you can say simultaneity. Okay. Yeah. Or you can say, yeah, it's actually, yeah, it has both. Okay. In the absolute and relative, in essence and existence, in being and becoming, etc. Okay. All right. So that's what it is. So that's what Tao, it is very, you can say it's almost very theoretical, yeah. I mean, but then there's practical, and then which we'll get to anyway. Okay, so now let's talk about religion. Now, what is now? There is no one. Okay, most people, when we say religion, right? When we say religion, what's the definition of religion? Actually, according to scholars, if you want to really dive deep, there's no one. How can I say, one set description, of religion. Okay, it's there are different versions, but in general, but that's good more on the philosophical level or whatever, on the intellectual level. But in general, if you look up religion in a dictionary, for example, I mean, it's usually almost all scholars would agree to this, would be that it's usually defined as a social cultural system of designated behaviors and practices, morals, beliefs, worldviews, texts, sanctified places, holy places, prophecies, ethics, or organizations or institutions, that generally relates humanity to the supernatural, or that connects humanity to the supernatural, the transcendental, and the spiritual elements. Okay, okay. So what does that mean? It just means that in general, in a very more everyday, everyday common person view, is that religion just means that there is a set of beliefs, practice based on either texts, sacred objects, or whatever. Okay, that relates human beings to a supernatural being, i.e., like a god, for example, or a deity. So, like, say, if you look at ancient religions, the ancient Greeks, for example, they have their Zeus and etc., Athena, Apollo, all those, right? Okay, the Hindus have what called Brahma, Vishnu, and who's the third one? Shiva. Okay, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The three trinity of high deity. Then there's other sub deities beneath them. Okay. Anyway, so and this is true throughout history, throughout cultures. But then the other point is, it evolved. Believe it or not, religions evolved to where it became, at least in the West, not so much in the East or other areas, but it evolved to where that transcendental supernatural being became the one God, the God Almighty, so it became very the Judeo-Christian, right? So the ancient Jewish religion, Judaism, believed in the God of who? Abraham, right? The God of Abraham, the God of Moses, etc., the God of who else? Abraham, Moses. Those are the big ones. Okay. Anyway, the Jehovah, they call it Yahweh, right? Okay. Now, similarly, Islam, which really came after Christianity anyway, they believe, that it's the one God, it's the one true God. They call it Allah, right? Okay. So it doesn't matter. But the point is, whether it's one deity, one supreme being, or other deities, it doesn't matter. But that, in general, that's what religion, encompass the definition. So then the question came, so is the Tao something like that? Something like that, right? Okay, is the Tao, yeah, something like that? And you can say, yeah, it's not. It's, in some respects it is, right? In some respects it is, because we believe in this one God, right? That there's one supreme being, and also we believe that there are also other deities too, right? In Buddhism they call it Buddhas, etc. Okay, all right, okay, and it's true because there are other deities, because those deities reside, or you can say are in charge or reside, in the realm of the celestial heavens. Maybe not the which is different from what we call absolute heaven, okay? Because absolute heaven is really, how can I say? It's really indescribable, right? 究竟界. It's really indescribable, okay? And there's no space time in that, well, as we know it. Whereas in the celestial heavens, there's still space and time, believe it or not. So that means there's a beginning and end. So that means all these sub-deities or deities, in the celestial heaven also have a lifespan. It's just that their lifespan is very, very long. It could be many, many mahakalpas. Okay, all right. So let's just talk about, okay, so is Tao a religion? So let's just simplify. In the absolute view, no. Okay, it's in the absolute view, no. Because the Tao is timeless, right? It transcends all these celestial beings or whatever, okay? Or another way of saying, you say it encompasses, but I'm jumping the gun, okay? I'm jumping the gun, okay? It doesn't, because it has no beginning, no end. That's the key. It's absolute. It's the absolute, you call it the absolute realm, the absolute land. In Buddhism, it's called Dharmakaya. Is it? No, not Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya. Yeah, no, Dharmakaya. Anyway, Dharmakaya just means the Dharma body. Literally, that's what it means. Okay. It just means it's the absolute realm, which is indescribable. Okay. Now, that's on an absolute view. Okay. Now, on a relative view, yes, the Tao is like a religion in many respects. Okay. Mainly in its manifestations or in its practices. And what does that mean? For example, all religions, as far as we know, have, like, well, one of the basic definitions of religion that almost everybody agrees on is that it has certain beliefs, right? Certain beliefs, morals, okay, certain worldviews, certain views, right? Rules, you can say rules, precepts, okay, all right, and also sanctified places, places that's holy, that's considered holy. So we have temples. That's why we have temples. Right? Okay. So that's like religion, right? Religion, they have, the mosque, right? The Christians have their, churches, cathedrals, et cetera, right? Okay. So the Hindus have their temples, the ancient Aztecs, Mayans have their temples, Chinese have their own temples, et cetera. Okay, so the Tao, what we call the Tao, also have temples. We have Tao temples. Okay, all right. So in that respect, in terms of the physical aspect, the tangible, yes, our Tao, the way we practice it, or the way we, you can say practice it, is very similar to religions, the way people practice religions, very similar. Okay, so in that respect, but the key is it's both. It has to have the two. It has to have that essence, but once again, we talk about the essence, the true principle, you will, the Dharmakaya, if you will. Okay, and so that's why we have to have the two. It's the oneness. It embodies that. Okay, so all right, so now, and we'll get to more about what the differences become very stark, and that's why in the absolute view, the Tao is not a religion. Okay, even though in the relative view, you could say in like daily practice. Okay, in our daily practice, it is like a religion. Okay, all right. So it's okay. So here's the differences and similarities. Okay, so now I'm talking about differences right now. Okay, these are first off differences. We can call the Tao is the root, whereas religions are like the branches. Okay, so the Tao is the essence, and the religions are the functions of the Tao. Okay, because it teaches, it teaches the principles, okay, of the Tao. It teaches how people to, what to believe, or what is correct, what is wrong, etc. All that stuff, morality, all that stuff. Okay. The Tao is the indescribable truth. Okay, that's the essence. Okay, and whereas religions are based, now the Tao is based on the indescribable truth. That's the nameless, right? The nameless, right? The nameless. It has no names. It's intangible. It's invisible. It's indescribable, but you cannot describe it, right? If it has a name, then it's not the true name. So it's indescribable. Okay, whereas the religion is based on specific doctrines, creeds, or experience dogmas that's been, either recorded, written down, be it in text, scriptures, words, chiseled on marble and stone, etc. Okay, so that's so these are the differences. Okay, now where's the Tao authority come from in terms of respect to, let's say, how it's how can I say, how it's manifested in this world? Well, it comes from what we call heaven's mandate. There's another way of saying it's God's will. You can say it's God's will. That's not to say religion has no God's will, but it's far from certain. Even though they do claim that, like say Abraham, Moses, they say, they got their authority from God, because God either appeared to them in a dream or spoke to them, right? Or, stuff like that. Okay. But generally, religion is based on authority that comes from, that's given, from other humans or institutions, all right. So for example, the Catholic Church, right? who appoints the Pope? I mean, the God, you know, speak to a particular, you know, cardinal and say, okay, yeah, you know, I'm going to pick you as the Pope, or did God, I don't know, you know, send a divine message somehow, you know, and pick a particular cardinal? No, it was selected among the College of Cardinals in Rome, right? You know, they do that, or in Rome, in the Vatican, right? Okay, so it's, I mean, I'm just using Catholicism as an example, but that's true for most religions. You know, same thing with Islam. Okay, they have a council of what they call, not Ayatollah. That's the Shia sect. But in general, they have a group of what we call advanced, like, you know, like senior, very senior level imams. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A council of imams that pick and select a leader to represent, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so it's the same idea. All right. Okay, now the Tao is based on how the Tao is, I want to say, is manifest once again. Okay, how it works in this world is that it comes about, or it's, you know, we can say talked about, or it's described, or propagated by enlightened masters. Enlightened masters means either people who, that means they're enlightened. Okay, so they're like Buddhas. You can say Buddhas, sages. Yeah, you can say that. Okay, but have the heavenly decree. In other words, they have the mandate. That in other words, they have the mandate to what? Not to be enlightened. They have the mandate to what? Propagate, to talk, to teach, to talk about the Dharma, the Tao. Okay, so this would be, you know, from this one on, it would be, this could lead to the next to the other topic. If you want to dive deep into this, it's called the lineage of the Tao, Tao Tong. Okay, I mean, that's one example. Okay, that's one example. Okay, so it would be here. Okay, all right. So this would be lead in to that next topic, you know, if you want to really go deep. Okay, but we don't have time. I'm just talking. Okay. Whereas in religion, it's based on what? People who have to undergo years and years of learning and practice. You know that? Okay, that means they have to be educated. You know, they go through different, like just in the Protestant church, to become a priest or a father, you have to, you know, go through seminary schools or something like that, and then you go through. Once you graduate, you become, I forgot, you can become an assistant or something, and then you work your way up. Okay, you know, so same idea. Okay, like this. Okay, so that's how you know, it's based on education. You know, schools. You know, formal school training, and learning from, you know, specific, you know, masters, Dharma masters, teachers. All right. Okay. Now the Tao is how does it get spread, or spread to among humans, or practice among humans? The Tao, the essence, the core of the Tao is based on what? Heart-to-heart transmission. That is the three treasures. Okay, so in other words, what I'm saying is that you don't quote unquote receive the Tao or enter the Tao by picking up a book or a text or scripture someplace and read about and know the three treasures, and read about and learn about the three treasures from there. And then you say, oh, okay, then that means I have the Tao. No, that's not the Tao. Okay, then that's not. It's heart to heart. Okay, it's heart to heart. Now, this could lead to another topic. Okay, a specific topic about three treasures, but also about the sixth patriarch. You know, Huineng, when he entered the fifth patriarch chamber at midnight to have that talk, you know, with him, and that's when he had the heart to heart. Or when Buddha, Siddhartha, when Sakyamuni Buddha became enlightened, you know, his encounter, his conversation with Dipankara Buddha, Landen Gufu. Okay, so that's the thing. Or you can talk about when Buddha, let me read you this passage. When Buddha, the flower sermon, right? A flower sermon. Everybody remember that, right? The flower sermon, right? Okay. 赞花印证, right? Okay, right? The flower sermon, Buddha sat on the mount, held a flower before his eyes. Thousands of his disciples and followers were perplexed as they watched. only Mahakasyapa realized the meaning of that action and broke into a broad smile. Then the Buddha spoke, I possess the true Dharma I, the marvelous mind of nirvana, the true form of the formless, the subtle Dharma gate not found in words, but transmitted outside of the scriptures. This I entrust to Mahakasyapa. Okay, so that's an example. Okay, all right, so that's an example. Whereas religion is based on just teachings, guidance, tools, rituals, etc. All that. It's based on physical things or tangible things, based on, words, based on scriptures, texts, rituals, etc. Okay, all right. That's how the religion spreads. Okay, it's spread or it's propagated, right? It's based on all this. Whereas actually in the Tao, no, it's just this. Okay, it's just that. All right. Now, the Tao also has a certain, how can I say, certain, you can say, constraint or restraint. That is, the true teachings of the Tao are not always available because it requires the presence of enlightened masters with heavenly degrees. That goes back to number 4. Okay, that means it has a constraint. In other words, the Tao, the teachings of the Tao. Okay, that means the teachings of the Tao are not always available. So it's time constraint. It's constrained. I'll say based on time. It's constrained based on this, based on this. Okay, sorry. The heavenly mandate. Okay, it's based on the heavenly mandate. So you can say it's based on God's will. So when it's time based on God's will to teach about the Tao, to spread the Tao, then there will be enlightened masters with that degree that they can spread. Okay, whereas, okay, so that's the Tao. So that's Tao. You can say it's restricted in that respect. Okay, based on heaven's will or based on God's will, you can say, or a heavenly mandate. Okay, whereas the teachings of religions are always available because it's based on scriptures, right? Anytime that scriptures is available, it's been handed down generations after generations, centuries after centuries, then the teachings will still be valid. I mean, not valid. Teachings will still be available. So that means the religious teachings are always there, as long as, the scriptures, texts, monuments, whatever, those holy places are around, right? As an example. Okay. Now the Tao is based on what? It's also based on what's wu-wei. We call this wu-wei or changeless. It's changeless. It's non-conditioned. It's not subject to political changes, social changes, society changes, etc. No, or traditions, human traditions. No, it's not. It's non-conditioned. It's always the same. Okay, so it's changeless. Whereas religions can change. It's variable. It can be changed, right? Religious practices, religious even beliefs or interpretations can change, right? Over time. Okay, so or due to social changes, etc., right? Or even political, right? Political changes or whatever, subject to change. All right. Okay, so these are the differences. Now, number 8. Do I have still time? Yeah, 15. Okay, the Tao, once again, is the Tao essence is timeless and nameless. Okay, that's Tao Te Ching chapter 1. Okay, whereas the religion here has a beginning and not eternal. It has a starting point and it changes over time and it can disappear, right? So it has a beginning and end. Okay, all right. The Tao always exists, always there. It's always there. Because it's nameless, it's timeless, it's nameless, it's intangible, it's formless. Okay, as long as the universe is, well, even when the universe, but I don't want to get to that point. But anyway, all right. Now, how does the individual practice of the Tao, differ from religious practice? Well, in the Tao, we must be awakened to and realize our Buddha nature. That's called instant enlightenment, and it must be experienced individually. In other words, your parents can't do it for their children. The children cannot do it for their parents. All right. Okay. Et cetera, et cetera. You cannot do it for, okay. All right. Christ cannot do it for you. Buddhas cannot do it for you. Okay. You have to experience it yourself. Okay. Okay. You have to. And why is that? Because we all have a Buddha nature. We all have the essence within us, within all of us. I say within, but just all of us has that. Okay, all right. So it's just a matter of determination and being awakened, and to realize, okay, our Buddha nature. Okay, it's called the Bodhi mind. That's the Bodhi mind. Okay, the Bodhi mind. Puti Xing. Okay, we have to awaken it, okay, or inspire awakening it, develop it, manifest it. Okay, anyway, all right. Whereas in religions, it's all based on this. It's all based on just chants, mantras, prayers, doing good deeds, and it's called gradual. That's called gradual cultivation, because it can be taught and learned from texts. Get it? Okay. Whereas in Tao, it cannot be this. I mean, yes, awakening and realizing your Buddha, we can. It can text. That's what all these Buddhist teachings, be it Tao Te Ching or all these various sutras, they can help us. It can help us. It can say it's a tool. You can say it's like a tool. It's an aid to help us awaken, but it is not it. Get it? So even the Buddhist sutras or the Tao Te Ching, etc., etc., okay, all these sutras or classics, that in itself is not the essence. Okay, and Buddha said that in the Diamond Sutra, Jing Gang Jing, right? Diamond Sutra, right? Because he was talking to what's his name? What's that disciple's name? Geez. 谁知道那个谁Shibuti okay, because Shibuti is considered one of the I think he was the oldest disciple of Buddha, and his main how can I say, they say his chief strength or his quality is that he is expert, or he's expert on emptiness or something like that. Okay, so that's why Diamond Sutra, one of the main topic is about talking about emptiness. Anyway, okay, all right, and so even Buddha said that even the sutras are not the true Tao. Okay, and it's not the true Tao. Okay, so you cannot rely on these forms. Okay, on object. All right, so whereas religion relies on them. Okay, it relies on that. Okay, all right. Now, also the Tao is considered the superior vehicle. Okay, we call it the upper vehicle, the Sangchen. Okay, that means that you're able to attain Buddhahood within one's lifetime, or we say within one's lifetime. Whereas and so the Tao allows that, provides that, is able to do that. Whereas religions are mainly the lower and middle vehicles. That means you can alter one's future life. Okay, you can alter one's your karma. You can because religions teach about doing good deeds, right? Doing good deeds. But the question is, they don't specify that you do good deeds without what? Without attachment, without conditions or wu wei. Okay, and so that's why its merits, or you can say its benefits, become limited, and so that's why it can only alter your life, your destiny. You can say partly your fate or destiny. It can alter, but alter to the degree that it can change or improve your future life. Okay, that's all right. So that's the religion. Whereas in Tao, the virtuous merits, 功德, are 永久, 是永久的 and 无限, are eternal and limitless. Okay, because it's what? It's based on wu wei, or non-attachment, non-condition, right? We talk about non-condition right here, right? Non-condition. Okay, non-condition. All right. Okay, so that's why. Okay, it's okay. Whereas in religion, all you could do good things, right? That's what religion process. You help the poor, you do charity work, etc. All that you do good things. You be a good neighbor, etc. All that stuff. Be a good Samaritan. But because they don't stress, you do these things, these deeds, without conditions or unconditionally or without attachment. Therefore, your merit, you will earn merit, but it's limited, and they are returned as karmic rewards. Get it? Okay, so that's sort of whereas in the Tao, we can avoid. Now with the Tao, you can also avoid or mitigate calamities. Okay, all right. So there are. Okay, now sorry. Here on number 10. Okay, 10. This is also another topic, right? We talk about the three vehicles, san chen, right? The three, is it the three vehicle? Yeah, the three, the lower, the middle, the upper, right? You can say those are different paths. They call the vehicles, vehicle Buddhism, they call it vehicles of cultivation. Okay, and so all right, so that's another topic. Okay, with the Tao, because whatever virtuous merits you perform are non-conditioned, they're non-conditioned. Okay, so therefore their benefits are limitless. So it's not absolute guaranteed because it depends on other factors too. But anyway, okay, such as karma and also your level of cultivation, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, all right, but you can avoid and mitigate, or mitigate means make less, okay, calamities, okay, reduce calamities, okay. Whereas in religion, because your merit is still conditioned, okay, your merit's conditioned, so your fate is still determined by karma. You still can't transcend karma, okay. I mean, that's not to say that in the Tao you can't, because that's maybe because you don't have sufficient virtuous merit. Okay, so if the karma is very heavy, very, very heavy, okay, you may not be able to avoid it. Okay, I mean, but there's also another reason for that, is that instead of encountering that heavy karma in the future lifetime, you encounter in this lifetime, so then it's gone. You got rid of it. There's no longer you no longer have that karma hanging over you that will force you to come back in the next lifetime, right? So it's like your slate is clean. Okay, that's another way. Now, another way is that, but with the Tao, we can transcend samsara. What samsara means? What? Reincarnation, cycle of birth and death. Okay, whereas in religion, because you don't have the three treasures, you're still subject to reincarnation. Okay, and also your merits are still limited. All right. Okay, and also the Tao provides what? Allows for the universal salvation of the three realms, San Cao Pudu, right? So that's the what? The human realm, the celestial realm, and the underworld realm. Okay, that only the Tao can allow you to have that. All right, whereas religion just basically teaches you how to, transform or turn a bad person, or transform your bad habits to good habits, or transform a bad person to a good person. All right, okay. The Tao also has this, okay, sorry, okay, has this, okay, it has this, okay, it has what we call the four Dharma seals, okay, 四印证, right, 四印证, right, okay, so it talks about impermanence, that means nothing lasts forever, okay, nothing. It talks about non-self, all things have no self except for sentient beings. That's what they call it. That I would say life, but yeah, life is, you can say life, or yeah, you can say life, or yeah, life, you can say life, yeah, it's not perfect, it's not satisfactory, it's never satisfactory. Okay, all right, it's never. Okay, actually, at any realm, any type of realm, okay, it's not perfect, not that. And lastly, nirvana is beyond description. Okay, so that's the Tao. The Tao embodies all this. Okay, whereas religion, religion only deals mainly with this. Okay, they have different doctrines, such as the four practices, right? Talk about magic, spells, and skills, right? I mean, some religions have that, right? They believe in having some magic spells, or the control of energy flows, okay, or the movement techniques, or meditation. Okay, so that's what religion has. I mean, I'm not saying all religions have this, but they have these different components. Some religions do, okay, some more than others. All right. Also, the Tao, am I almost time? Yeah, almost. Okay, sorry. Okay. Oh, almost done. Okay. The Tao okay, is based on what? Based on this, based on, oops, oh, shoot. Okay, it's based on the true, it's called four reliances, 依赖的依, okay, it's based on true teachings and not the person, okay, so not the person, not the messenger, okay, so we only rely on true teachings, not the person, and we rely on the true meaning or the spirit of the teachings, not the words, not just the words, okay, and rely on innate or intuitive Buddha nature wisdom, okay, not just knowledge or intellectual understanding, all right? And the fourth is we rely on the ultimate truth, the middle path, okay, not interpretations, okay, all right, or speculations, okay. Whereas religion is based on relying on individuals, on the person, on the words, on knowledge, or on texts, or discourses of interpretation, which do not make clear the teachings of the ultimate perfect truth of Buddha. Okay, so that's religion. Okay, basically religion is like that. All right. Okay, this is another. And then, okay, here's another difference is that the Tao is based from the internal to the external. That is reality as perceived by our Buddha nature. So everything has to come from within our essence, or comes from, because the essence is the source. The Buddha nature is the source of everything. Okay, so everything is not dependent on our five senses or six senses. Okay, anyway, all right. So that's from the internal. Whereas religion is just from the external to the internal. That's reality only perceived by the senses and the conscious mind, the five skandhas. Okay, all right. So that's the difference. All right. So the key is we cannot, the Tao, the main difference in the Tao religion is that we have to rely on our Buddha nature, whereas, which is the changeless true nature, the changeless essence, and that's the Tao. Whereas religion doesn't rely on that. Okay, religions rely on our senses. Okay, on our knowledge, on our conscious mind. All right. Okay, now, what's the relationship? I'm almost near the end. Relationship of Tao religion is that Tao is the source of all religions. Okay, so remember, Tao is the root. The religions are like the branches of a tree. Okay, the Tao, and here's where it gets interesting, where there's the interconnection between the two, is that the Tao is within all religions. Actually, it is. It's the core. Okay, it's the core. All right. Okay, it's within all religions. If you dive deep into any religion, if you really dive deep and go to its highest level of understanding, you'll find the Tao. You'll find the essence. Okay, anyway. Now, the Tao and religion have holy places of worship, right? We all have temples, sanctuary, whatever, monasteries, etc. Tao and religion these are all the similarities. These are the similarities. Okay, all right. So Tao also have prayers, precepts, rules, and rituals, right? The 15 rules and regulations, etc., etc. Many more. Okay, precepts, the 5 cardinal sins, etc., etc. All that. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, the Tao religion also have expedient teachings from sutras, okay, texts, etc., okay, scriptures, whatever, okay, both of them. And both Tao also seeks to transform evil to good, just like religion too, okay? So these are the similarities. Okay, now the cultivation of Tao versus religion, my time is almost out. I'm just gonna summarize. These comes from the previous sections, okay? So one must, the key is this: Tao requires one to be awakened to and realize one's true nature, Buddha nature. Okay, we must have to do that. You must, because if you don't, if we say we practice the Tao and we do not use this, then that's not the Tao. That's a religion. Then that's just like a religion. Okay. Anyway, all right. So very important. Okay. So the Tao is the most direct path to supreme enlightenment. That is instant enlightenment. Okay. 顿悟. While religion is gradual. Okay. It's called the 渐修, right? Or whatever. 渐修, right? Okay. The Tao cultivation embodies the upper vehicle, while religions are the lower vehicle. Okay, so that's the difference. And the Tao merit is based on non-conditions or non-attachment, while religious merits are conditioned and limited. And with the Tao, one is able to transcend cycle of birth and death, samsara, while religions are still subject to karma. And Now, this is just a partial list, but this is just, just the key points, some key areas. Tao is able to achieve universal salvation, that is the salvation trail, while religion just transforms transforms evil to good. All right, okay, so this is, I rambled a lot, but anyway, as you can see, if you can understand this, this leads to many other topics that you could go more in depth, right, about what the Tao is, okay? So that's why this is like considered a very, you can say, generic, very basic topic about the Tao religion. Okay, so with that, I think I just covered 9 o'clock. Okay, so with that, I conclude today's topic on Tao and religion, or the essence and function. And if I have said anything wrong or incorrect, not clear, I ask for the Buddhas and sages guidance and forgiveness, and everybody's guidance as well. Okay, thank you very much.